Welcome, welcome to Focused Unleashed. This is the inaugural episode. I'm a little nervous, but super excited. I tried a podcast last year, and it didn't really go well. I had too much expectation, I think, and with that expectation came doubt, fear, and when it didn't go my way, I decided just to end it. And that was very humbling because I like to finish what I start, but that was just something that didn't go my way. And I'm really excited about a new start with a new mindset, with a new focus, and really diving into something that I really created in 2025. So, Focused Unleashed, how it came about. Let's give you a little backstory. I'm a personal trainer, and I train athletes here in my hometown. And one of the athletes I really identified with based on his story. He had worked really hard from 8th grade to his freshman year to lose weight. He was a bigger kid in the 8th grade. We started working together. You could tell he didn't have a lot of confidence. He wasn't really comfortable in his body, and there's things that he wanted to achieve, but he knew he couldn't achieve based on the way he felt about himself. So over the summer, from 8th grade to freshman year, he really dived in to losing weight, and he lost about 100 pounds, and he looks great. He got stronger, he got faster, and his goal was to become a linebacker. That's what he saw himself being. That's what he wanted to go for, and that's what he wants to pursue after high school. And I was all about that. Once he told me why he wanted to do it, it really inspired me to work harder with him and push him to become everything that he wanted to be. During that timeline, when he got into his freshman year, he had a lot of obstacles. Being a bigger kid in the 8th grade, he had played center, and that's basically what the coaching staff saw him as. So he didn't get a lot of opportunity to play the position that he wanted because they had already put him in the box of, you're a center, we need you to play center, that's the only way we're going to win. They didn't really focus on what he wanted as an athlete and what he wanted to pursue for his own purpose and own dreams. So that kind of frustrated me as somebody who wants to help everybody achieve their goals, especially when they have goals that they set for themselves. I think we all should chip in and try to help them be the best versions of themselves. And that didn't happen with this coaching staff. So, I tried to help him overcome those obstacles, really advocate for himself, and really push for the opportunity that he worked so hard for. During that time, there was a lot of pushback, and he got a little bit of opportunity, but they also told him that certain positions would be better for him. Maybe he should look at trying to do this, and that frustrated me as well because they're still creating that box that he can't really come out of, right? It's like, I don't see you as this because I can't see your vision. So because I can't see your vision, I'm going to put you here where I see you being more successful in my eyes and also helping us win. So it's less about him and more about the coaching staff and the team. And that kind of frustrated me. I understand that as a team, you do what you have to do to help the team win and be successful. But there's also a point where what you want really drives you to being the best version of yourself. And in this case, it would have made him the best athlete that he could be. And he would have worked twice as hard to help his team win. And I don't think they really saw that. So during the conversation that we had, I told him that it's time for you to create your FU tour. And that's basically how Focused Unleashed came about. I wanted to express it in a way that he could use it as fuel and not just use it as something to say. And when I say FU, what I mean is your fuck you tour. Basically, I'm going to succeed despite everything that everyone thinks about me. If you don't think I can do it, if you don't believe in me, then that's a big FU to you, because I'm going to work twice as hard to make sure that I do accomplish it, not because of you, but in spite of you. And so that's kind of how this whole concept was born, and something that I used to kind of fuel his fire then turned into something that kind of fueled my own fire and created this mindset and this system that I created at the end of 2025 that has really helped me boost my confidence, really put me in a position to create my own success despite anyone's belief in me or disbelief or doubt, my own fear, my own doubt. And this was born. So one of the most impactful things that I did in 2025 was write an ebook based on his story, my story, that was called Conquering the Giant. And from conquering the giant, then came Focused Unleashed. And that's where we are today. We're at Focused Unleashed. So as we start 2026, I'm sure everybody, especially if you're listening, everybody has a goal or goals that they want to accomplish. And once you create those goals, you have to understand that you create giants that come with it. All right? So let's talk about giants. All right, when we talk about giants, we're talking about the obstacles that are in your way. And a lot of times, the obstacle that are in your way that really prevents you from accomplishing your goals are self-imposed, and then they are amplified by outside sources. So what I mean by that is your own fears, your own doubts. We have them. Anytime we create a goal, there's always that self-doubt or that fear that we won't be able to do it, or anxiety. And that kind of starts the process of you not accomplishing the goal from the jump. Because in the back of your mind, those voices are telling you, you can't do it, it's not worth it, you don't have time, you'll be too tired, nobody else has done it before, what makes you think you could do it, blah, 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 blah. Right? And then it gets amplified because you tell the wrong people about your goals. And they remind you that, didn't you have that goal last year? Wasn't that something you were going to do last year? What makes you think this year's going to be different? Or maybe you shouldn't do that. Maybe you should focus on this. And they create that kind of box where they say, you can't do it in so many words. I don't believe in you. And I don't want to see you fail. So I would rather put you in this little comfortable box where I can protect you and you will be safe. And that box then becomes your comfort zone. And those giants win, right? So really understanding what you want to accomplish and understanding that your own fears, your own doubts, your anxiety, all that is the giant that you will probably be facing. Then it will get amplified, which makes the giant grow. And in your way now is this huge giant that doesn't want you to exceed, doesn't want you to succeed. Sorry. Like I said, I'm a little nervous, but it doesn't want you to succeed. And now you have this uphill battle because not only is the journey going to be difficult because you're going to do something that you've never done before. So you're taking on something that you've never taken on before, and it's not going to be easy from the start. But with those giants in place, it makes it even harder really to get started because you're already trying to talk yourself out of doing it. Or somebody's trying to convince you not to get started because they don't want to see you get hurt or they don't want to see you fail. So one of the greatest things you can do when you create this goal is to start to understand how it makes you feel. Is it scary? Do you believe that you can do it? Because if you don't believe it and it scares you, it's probably something that you should be doing. As crazy as that sounds, it's probably something that you should be doing because it scares you enough to try to talk yourself out of it. And it creates a certain type of anxiety where you say, oh my gosh, this may be too big. This may be too overwhelming. Maybe I shouldn't do it. That means you should do it. But you have to reconcile with those feelings. And sometimes that means just writing them down. How do you feel? How does this goal make you feel? Does it scare you? Does it make you feel less than because you don't know what the outcome will be? Those are good feelings if we use them the right way. So really identifying the giants that we have from the start, because there's going to be obstacles along the way that we don't know that will come up and we'll have to face those. But if we have to battle those along with our own imposed obstacles, that makes it twice as hard. So it's really sitting down, writing down the goal, writing down how it makes you feel. What do you think from your own perspective could possibly stop you from reaching your goal? Whether you don't feel like you have the time, you don't feel like you have the energy, you don't have the resources, whatever it may be, write those down. Because those are the obstacles that you need to face from the start. You need to identify those and you need to come up with ways to counter those. A way to find the resources, the ways to deal with the fear on a daily basis. Whether it could be anything. It could be a mantra that you say over and over again that helps ease that fear. Something that you write down and you look up every single day to remind yourself that this is not going to be easy, but you're willing to do whatever it takes because this is what you want. Winning those battles on a daily basis is going to keep you moving forward. And as you keep moving forward, that will give you the opportunity to be successful. It's when we get out of rhythm because we have a really bad day where we doubt ourselves and we doubt if it's working. We doubt if we're on the right path. We doubt if it's really, really something that we want. We start to lose days. And as we lose days, we fall behind. And as we fall behind, the giant gets bigger and bigger because now the obstacle is greater and greater. So really, really, really think about, what are my goals? How do they make me feel? What do I know about myself that would throw me off track? Am I not committed? Have I lacked discipline? Do I not get enough sleep? Do I not manage my time well? Identify those. Those are your giants. Those are the things that have knocked you off course before and put you in a position where you were not successful. So we have to create good habits. With Focused Unleashed, the first thing that I did was create habits. I did 31 days of action in December. And it's got me to this point because in the past, I've talked about doing a podcast, and I have a lot of goals that I want to accomplish in 2026. So the 31 days of action really put me in a position to start 2026 off on a great note because I had 31 days of action leading up to it. So I was really, really impressed by that. It's something that I started. I didn't know how it was going to work. And I was really impressed with it. And it got me to this point because all last year, like I said, I started a podcast and then it didn't go well. So I stopped. So there really wasn't anything keeping me focused. And that could have very, very easily happened again in 2026 without the 31 days of action. So that's something we'll talk about later. If you're interested, drop a comment, let me know, and I can reach out to you. You can reach out to me, and we can really get you started on that. But creating those habits will put you in a better position to be successful. And that starts with identifying the things that you self-impose and create obstacles for yourself because you know you best. You know when you lack discipline. You know when you can't commit 100%. You know that you don't use your time well. You know when things get hard, you choose comfort over stress. So those things that you identify will help shrink the giant. Because like I said, once you create the goal, the giant is created as well. And the things that we don't identify, the things that we don't plan for, the things that we don't have systems in place to help us combat, the giant just keeps bigger and bigger because every obstacle adds to it. So it's already going to be a daunting task. Anything worth anything is daunting. But it doesn't mean that it can't be done. It's just going to take a lot of focus, a lot of effort, and a lot of discipline. So if you're listening to this, one thing that I want you to do is go ahead and the goals that you have, if you haven't already done it, identify those giants. That's the first step. That's the first step to unleashing a focus that's going to create so much success in 2026. I'm excited for it. I've seen what it can do just in 31 days. So I'm truly, truly excited about what's going to happen for me in 2026 because of how it's already started. So drop it in the comments. If you really, really are dedicated and you really, really want to accomplish this, one thing you can do, and it doesn't have to be here, but find somebody you trust and go over what you want to accomplish and tell them what your giants are, your self-imposed giants, and what you're going to do to combat those giants on a daily basis to keep yourself on track. And I say somebody you can trust because sometimes it's not the people that are closest to you or the people that you can trust. And I hate to say that, but it's true. Because a lot of times the people closest to you don't necessarily want you to fail, but your success makes them feel less than sometimes. So it's easier to keep you in a comfortable place with them so that they don't feel like you're going to leave them behind. So a lot of times we choose people that are close to us and they do it not on purpose because I think it's an unconscious thing. that they try to just protect themselves from you possibly leaving them behind. And also in a very, I guess you could say, in a way, they try to protect you from the potential of failure and being hurt. So they try to put you in this little box of comfort. And they're there with you. And they're like, hey, look, why do that? You've got a really, really good life. We have a lot of fun. Why would you want to create that stress? Why do you want to put yourself through that? What if it doesn't work? And they don't mean to. I think it's done out of love, but it's out of a love that won't help you become the best version of you. So, choose somebody you can trust, that will be honest, and that will help you be who you want to be and accomplish what you want to accomplish. And if you need somebody, then that's what this podcast is for. Hopefully people listening will be your support system. I will try to be your support system, as I hope you're my support system as I try to accomplish everything I'm trying to accomplish in 2026, starting with this podcast. So if you need a support system, in the comments, write down your goals. Let me know what they are. And then I want you to write down the giants. The giants that you self-impose or that you feel others might amplify, whether it be your job not giving you opportunities or a boss not really seeing your potential and they say maybe you should do this. That's going to amplify your fear to try to do what you want to do. So it's best to identify that and then come up with ways to combat it. Whether you're just going to go ahead and, I'm going to let you tell me what you think I should do. I'm going to excel at that. And then on my own, I'm still going to go after what I want. It will be hard. Yes. It's like working twice as hard. But sometimes that's what it takes. So, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. It's the inaugural episode. The first 4 weeks of 2026 is going to be based on the foundation of Focused Unleashed. Everything needs a starting point. This is the first step of Focused Unleashed to create the success you're looking for in 2026. Identify your giants. Find ways to combat them. Shrink them down so they're not as scary. Because this is going to be a long journey. But I'm here with you. I'm on it with you. And I'm excited. Truly, truly excited for myself and for anybody else who has decided to do something more than what they've done in the past and make this year a great, great year. You will hear me mention Conquering the Giant. It's the ebook that I wrote in 2025. If that is something that you're interested in reading, I give it away free. It's not something I charge for. Simply drop your email in the comments and I will send it to you absolutely free. I would love for you to read it because I will be referring a lot to it. I'm currently working on the big brother to that, Focused Unleashed, and hopefully that will be able to be released here in the next few months to really kick off this podcast as well. But Conquering the Giant was something that I was really, really passionate about. I wrote it, finished it, and got really good feedback from it. And it's part of what created Focused Unleashed. And Focused Unleashed is going to be a great, great system to really accomplish what I want to accomplish in 2026. And I hope it helps you as well. So with that, I'm going to sign off the inaugural episode. This is kind of cheesy, but I'm going to give myself a hand for going ahead and doing this because this is not something that I thought I was going to do. Like I said, I know that's cheesy, but I really, this is something I'm passionate about. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I want to help people. I want to motivate people. And this is a way that I can do that until I can find other ways to do that. And so creating this episode was the first step to doing that and doing it on a consistent basis. And I'm truly excited about what I've done and really excited about where it's going to go. So thank you for joining me for the inaugural episode of Focused Unleashed. And I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a fun ride, and I'm ready to take it with you. But for now, I want you to stay focused and be ready to be unleashed.